Hey everyone, thanks for joining me again for part number 2 on how to make a map. Today we're going to be talking about how to place mountains. I'll be using Wonderdraft, but the tips that we cover here are going to be good for any way you'd like to make your map. So without further ado, let us move to part 2. Tip number 1 relates to our last video. We're going to use our dynamic coastlines to create better mountain ranges. Your dynamic coastlines will naturally have more narrow sections in them. You can use these narrow sections to create subcontinents just by putting down some mountains. However, when you are putting down your mountains, make sure they're not too big. When they're too big, it's going to mess with the scaling of your map. If we zoom out here, we can clearly see that these mountains are huge. I'm talking like bigger than Olympus Mons kind of huge, like they probably aren't even in the atmosphere anymore huge. That is, unless these continents aren't actually continents and they're actually just islands, because then it scales correctly. But I want these to be continents. There we go. Now our mountains are a little bit more to scale, which leads us to tip number 2. Don't make mountains a straight line. Instead, have them look more like that. Mountain ranges actually tend to resemble the roots of a plant. Add some foothills and you got yourself one complete mountain range. Tip number 3, mountain ranges on continents tend to stick more to the coast rather than centralized. However, mountains on islands tend to be more towards the center. And standalone mountains tend to be volcanoes. All right, let's fill in the rest and see what we can come up with. All right. That's looking pretty good. I like it. Okay, just one last tip. Remember, the bigger your continents are, the smaller your mountains should be. Once your mountains are the size that you want, you could say that your scale is set in stone. Get it? Set in stone. Yeah, I'll just go.